Welcome back, Shark Kings. The PlayStation blog announced this week the games that will be coming to Extra next week. Now, you may know which games they are, but if you haven't already, we'll go through them. We are getting a day one release, so that's kind of exciting. But this video is going to be more about comparing the games that are leaving to the new games coming in. Are we getting a good deal or are we getting screwed again? So let's go through the games real quick. We have FBC Firebreak, Battlefield 2042, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2, The Hunter Call of the Wild, We Love Katamari Reroll, EIYUDEN Chronicles, Train Sim World 5, Endless Dungeon, and for PlayStation Premium, this is a joke, but you're only getting one game, Days X The Conspiracy. If you like videos that get to the point, drop a like. I'm not going to force you to watch the whole thing, but the chapters will let you know what to expect. So I'm going to go through what the games are all about if you really want to learn about them, but let's go over to the stats and compare them really quick. So because FBC Firebreak hasn't been released yet, it's a day one drop, it doesn't have a MetaCritic score. So let's go to Battlefield 2042. Battlefield 2042 has a score of 68 with a user score of 2.3. Ouch. Next, we have EIYUDEN Chronicles 100 Heroes with a score of 79. Users gave it a 7.1. After that, we have Train Sim World 5. Barely anyone's played this one, so there is no review, even though it's been out for almost a year. Users gave it a 5.5. Then we have Endless Dungeon with a score of 75 and a user score of 7.6. Not bad. Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2 doesn't really have a score, but it does have a user score of 8.7. I only found one critic score of an 80 on Metacritic. Next, we have The Hunter Call of the Wild, which has a user and critic score of 64. And finally, We Love Katamari Reroll. Critics gave it 81 and users gave it a 7.1. So what I've done is I've gathered all the games that are leaving on the Last Chance to Play list and the games I just talked about and got their scores and even did an average. So anything green is 80 or above, anything red is under 70. And the in-betweens are yellow. Good old traffic light. So let's go to the games leaving in case you need a reminder. There's a lot of winners over here. Monster Hunter Rise, 88 and 8.4. Wow. Rogue Legacy 2, another 88 with a 7.3. Inscription, 85 with a user score of 8.5. And then we have Avicii Invector, which is also an 80 with a user score of 7.0. After Us, which has a score of 65 with a user score of 6.8. And finally, Kayak VR Mirage, which has a score of 73 with a user score of 8.0. So as you can see, 4 out of the 6 titles were 80 plus great games that are leaving. And then as far as the games coming in, the only good ones, according to Metacritic, are Five Nights at Freddy's and We Love Katamari. Now, some people are into those games. Do you think that's a fair trade for Monster Hunter Rise, Rogue Legacy 2, Inscription, and Avicii? I don't know. That's up to you. I did a quick average and we have a 79.8 compared to a 74.3. It doesn't seem that bad when you do the averages. But again, this is not including FBC Firebreak. Now, here's some cool math over here. If it gets an 80, it goes up to a 75. If it gets a 75, it goes down to a 74. Let's say it's an amazing game. It gets a 90. It's still not going to catch up to our games leaving average. What if it's a 99? Still not. There is no saving it. So no matter which way you look at it, the games leaving are vastly superior to the new games coming in. If you like spreadsheets as much as I do, I went through the entire catalog of PS Plus Extra games, wrote down their ratings, their runtime, and I even color-coded them. So if you're a member of this channel, enjoy the new look, and remember that yellow means Last Chance to Play. The new games discussed in this video will have a gray background. Hopefully these colors make the games easier to find. To become a member, just hit the join button right beside the subscribe button. This huge list is available for Tier 2 members. Now let's see some gameplay. I think whether or not this month's going to be good is all going to depend on FBC Firebreak. This is from the same makers that made Control, Remedy Entertainment, but this is kind of like a horde shooter. I don't know. That's not what Control was good for. So don't get me wrong. I love the vibe and the settings of the building from Control, and I'm probably going to play it, and it's probably going to keep me distracted for a tiny bit, but I'm kind of over multiplayer games. I don't really want to play multiplayer games now. There are way too many to choose from, and especially being on PS Plus Extra, like if it goes away in a year, then what? Like, will you have to buy it? Like, why are multiplayer games being given like as rentals? But either way, I'm really excited about this game. Would love to get back into the building and battle all the baddies. I think the key part is going to be if you can find 2 other people to play this with. I can see that being really fun. The lore and the monsters are so fun in Control. But again, it kind of hits different without the ability to fly and use telekinesis and telepathic powers. Feels like a neutered experience, you know? But FBC Firebreak, I guess we'll all find out. Now, Battlefield 2042 we already got as, I think, a monthly game. It came out in 2021. It was a multiplayer only, and it went into a futuristic direction. But they also got rid of the campaigns. I love the single player campaigns of Battlefield, so this was a gut punch. Not a big fan of it. Again, really weird to have an online multiplayer game on PS Plus Extra. You pump up all your stats, and then the game leaves. What next? Do you have to buy it? So the reason this got such a low user score was it was a technical disaster at launch. It had game-breaking bugs, glitches, match instability, the voice chat was missing. It quickly became one of the lowest rated games on Steam with over 30,000 negative reviews. Many Battlefield staples were removed, like no single player campaign as mentioned, removal of server browsers, lack of distinctions between factions. It was a much more stripped down feature compared to previous titles. It shifted the gameplay more towards Call of Duty and Apex style of gameplay, which is a real shame because Battlefield definitely had its own voice. But to be fair, since launch, DICE has released multiple updates and seasons, improving the stability and gradually restoring some of the beloved features. But many fans still felt like it was a little bit off base from the usual Battlefield formula. So as expected, players' numbers dwindled far below launch peaks. So if you've been around PS Plus a while, it was released in March of 2023 as a monthly game, which begs the question, if giving this game away for free to everyone didn't really improve the numbers, what's the point of giving it away temporarily on PS Plus Extra? So there is a new Battlefield title in development for 2026, so maybe they're trying to build up hype for it, and hopefully they're going to be going back, course correcting, so to speak. The next game that got a good rating was EIYUDEN Chronicles 100 Heroes. This is a 2024 turn-based JRPG. This was one of the highest backed games ever on Kickstarter. It aims for the PS1 era nostalgic look through its 2.5D aesthetics. It also has a massive cast and a political fantasy storyline. You have up to 6 fighters in the turn-based battles, and it has tons of mini-games, card games, wars, duels, base building. If you're a fan of classic JRPGs, you're gonna love this. But it does have slow pacing and the occasional grind. The next game is Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2. I have zero interest in this game, but maybe you like it. This is a VR first horror minigame, but you don't need VR to play it. This is great for VR horror fans. It delivers high tension scares with immersive mechanics like the haptics, audio, and even eye tracking if you're lucky enough to play it on VR. And FNAF series veterans are going to enjoy it because your beloved animatronic characters are back here. And also, this is another game that has a ton of mini games. So it's got great replayability. The gaming experience is fragmented. It's a collection of minigames, like I said, without a traditional narrative. And the flat mode, playing it on your TV, lacks the immersion that makes the VR experience so much better. Endless Dungeon is a 2023 sci-fi roguelite that fuses twin-stick shooter combat, tower defense strategy, and roguelike progression. It has squad-based gameplay, so you command 2 to 3 heroes with skills and weapons. You can switch control or give AI orders. This is for fans of hybrid genres. If you enjoy strategic tower defense games mixed in with fast-paced action shooters and procedural progression, this game will hit. Highly recommended you play this game co-op mode because playing this with friends is the way it's meant to be played. If you're craving deep weapon mastery, varied gameplay loops, and a darker tone, you may find it falls a bit flat after repeated playthroughs. I don't know, for me that's a good thing. And then the last games I'm not even going to bother talking about. We got a train simulator and The Hunter, Call of the Wild. So that concludes all the games that are coming in. Are they better than the games leaving out? Hell no. But personally, I am going to try this one, FBC Firebreak, because I loved Control and I loved the lore of that game. Hey, there's Jesse Faden on the wall. It's sweet. So even though it's a shooter hero game, I don't even know what to call this, horde shooter, I guess, it will be fun to jump in, but I'm probably not going to spend too much time. I just want to see what the world is like and revisit the oldest house. Honestly, this looks kind of fun. Will it be good? Well, I don't know. Are multiplayer games good? Sometimes they can be. So we'll just have to wait and see. What game are you excited about? Are you excited about this one? Do you think we're getting a good deal? Let me know down below. And if you've watched this far, you're probably a member, so let me show you something cool. Remember how before it was so annoying to sort things on Excel spreadsheets? You had to select the entire table, choose which column, then A to Z, and hope that it worked out. This new table I made you is so intuitive. If you want to see the games alphabetically, all you have to do is click this little thing and sort A to Z. Bam! Instant results. How cool is that? instant access to all the Assassin's Creed games. If you'd rather sort by MetaCritic ratings, click that again, A to Z from lowest to highest, or Z to A for highest to lowest. Just like that, we can see the best of the best games on PS Plus Extra, from the high 90s all the way down to 70. And the last thing you could do is sort by runtime. So if you were curious to see what the longest game on PS Plus Extra is, it's Age of Wonder Planetfall with 2,000 hours for the platinum. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the new look, and thanks to all the current members for supporting a small channel. Remember that you can cancel after 1 month. Just join, download it, and peace out. I won't be offended. It's less than the price of a coffee, and you can update it on your own if you don't want recurring payments. Hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, be a friend, and I'll see you again.